Hello beautiful people and welcome. In this video we are writing polynomials in standard form. We're going to be simplifying polynomials, evaluating them, and things like that. As always, I am human. If I make a mistake, please let me know where the mistake occurs. Let's go ahead and start with writing polynomials in standard form. So standard form of a polynomial containing only one variable is written with the terms in the order of decreasing degree. So basically what we're looking at is we are looking at the exponents and we want the exponents to go down. If you do not see an exponent on a variable or a letter, that exponent is 1, and so the last term is going to be your constant if you have it, meaning there is no variable because technically that variable is there but it has a degree of 0. So anything with a degree of 0, let's do that here real quick. Anything with a degree of 0 is equal to 1. So our decreasing would be 4, 3, 2, 1, oops, that's an x, and 0. So in this case here we have x to the 4th, x squared, x to the 1st, even though we don't show it, and then we have x to the 0 as a constant. Let's jump into example 1 right away, and we want to write that in standard form. So again, standard form is in decreasing order. So I'm looking at my exponents. I'm also noticing that all of my terms, besides 1, has that variable. So we're going decreasing, so the first thing we're going to write is our negative 4x. So make sure that you understand that the symbol in front of your term comes with the term. So in this case, negative 4x cubed. That's our first one. It's the highest. Then I have a squared here, so minus 2x squared. Then I have just an x with an exponent of 1, so plus 20x. And then I have my constant of 1, which is here. So this polynomial is now written in standard form. Moving on to simplifying polynomials. Simplifying polynomials, you are combining like terms, meaning you are looking for the same power, which is your exponent, or you're looking for the same variable or variables. For example, if you have r squared, here's your variable of r, here's your variable of r, here's your exponent of 2. Therefore, your variable and your exponent are the same, so you can choose to combine them. Your r cubed, so this guy here, let me see if I have another color. This guy here, r cubed, cannot be combined with an r squared because the exponent does not match. So let's do an example here of combining like terms. I'm going to jump in and look for things that are the same. So I see a y squared. I have 8 y squares that are negative, so this negative belongs to the 8y squared. I also see a y squared here with a positive, so those are together. And then here I also see a y cubed, 2 of those that are positive, and I see a y cubed here, 2 of those that are negative. So I'm going to rewrite them. You don't have to rewrite them in order, as in grouping them horizontally. I'm going to choose to do that. So I have a negative 2y cubed, and I have a positive 2y cubed. I have a negative 8y squared, and I have a positive y squared. Sometimes it does help for you to write them together to see what you have. Since I have 2 y cubes and 2 y cubes, so a negative and a positive, this creates a 0 pair. Now a 0 pair is a positive and a negative combined, so let's do a little thinking bubble. 0 pair is a positive and a negative, and mathematicians are lazy, so guess what the value is of a 0 pair? It is nothing. It is 0. So we can cancel these out. These can go away, so those go away. So I have a negative 8y squared and a positive y squared. So I have 8. I owe 8 since it is negative here. And I have 1, so that means I have a negative 7y squared as my simplification of this polynomial. So remember, when simplifying polynomials, you're looking for the same power, same variable, and then you're combining like terms, looking for 0 pairs that can cancel out. Let's do another example of combining like terms. So a term is separated by a plus and a minus. Again, minuses are just adding a negative. Make sure that you take the symbol in front of the term. So we have p squared cubed. So I'm looking for another p squared. So this is p to the fifth, so that's not the same. P squared is here. It's negative. P squared, don't have that. Next one we have is in p to the fifth, q to the fourth. And here I have p to the fifth, q to the fourth. Let's go ahead and combine these. You can choose to write them out together if you want first, or you can go straight into simplifying. I choose to write them out sometimes I don't. Make sure you're taking the negatives with the term, or the symbol with the term. All right, let's see if we have any zero pairs. I have one p squared cubed, and I take away 4 of those. That means I have a negative 3 p squared cubed. Then I have a minus 4 p to the fifth, q to the fourth, plus 3 of those. So I have a negative 4 and 3. That means I have a negative 1 p to the fifth, q to the fourth. So here is our simplification of the polynomial that we had. Moving on to evaluate polynomials. So when we are evaluating polynomials, you're thinking plug and chug, you're thinking substitute. So basically for whatever variable that you have, you're replacing that variable with a numerical value, with a number. Now I always encourage you to, when you're doing that, to use parentheses, because sometimes if you have a negative input, you don't want to accidentally forget about that negative and then subtract. So let's actually go ahead and make this negative 4, so that way I can show you how to deal with a negative. Rewriting this polynomial, I have negative 16t squared. I'm going to put a bubble there. I'm going to put parentheses there, plus 200t plus 6. Now inside, instead of t, I'm going to be now writing my numerical value, which is negative 4. So now I have a negative 16 times negative 4 squared is a positive 16, plus 4 times 2 is 8, so I have a negative 800, and I have a plus 6. You will need a calculator for this. Maybe you don't. Hopefully you don't, but I do. Negative 16 times 16, that gives me a negative 256, plus my negative 800, plus 6. And typing that all in my calculator, and I get a negative 1,150 as my answer. Let's try this again, but now with a positive input. So again, rewrite it. Instead of your variable, you're going to leave a bubble. And inside that bubble, that's where you're going to put your input. In this case, our input is 6. So I have 50 times 6 squared, which is 36. And that gives me 1,800. And I'm going to add to that 250, which gives me a total of 2,050 as my final answer for the polynomial. All right, beautiful people, thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one as we continue with polynomials. In our next video, we will be adding and subtracting. Thank you. Bye.